Where do they sit in the top 6 at this point? Nigel, you go first.
All right, if we're going with my top 6, I'm not sure which order, which direction we're going. I got them sitting 6 right now. They have it. They've been tested, and they've shown the ability to be gritty. They can win on the road, all those different things. But you ain't seen Autzen yet. So let's see how that works out. Utah, I got number 5, mainly just because of the fact that Cam Rising isn't there yet. If he's there, I'm probably have them closer to number 1 or 2. But right now, Nate Johnson, love everything he's doing. I got my Beavs at number 4. They are playing defense like somebody owes them money. DJ's got to come back and be DJ, though. Tonight, he was not the DJ that we've seen in the first couple of weeks, so he's got to go back to being that DJ if they're going to win on the road at Wazoo. I got Oregon, the Duckies, number 3. Routes on air, everything. Want to see them take, again, they haven't been tested the same way. Texas Tech is not the same as going on the road as some of these other teams. It's not the same as going to TCU, not the same as some of the others. USC, the only reason I have USC number 2 is because right now I think Washington defense is better than the USC defense from what we've seen early on in the season. I've got to see them clean things up defensively to put them in the number 1 spot. And you call me Homer if you want to. Yeah, I rock the purple and gold, but I got results. 41-0 is what they were winning in East Lansing. I'll tell you right now, they are playing lights-out football, both sides of the ball, special teams as well. If you're returning a kick against the Huskies, I suggest you take out some form of insurance because it is not a way to stay healthy if you've seen them on special teams. So they are my number 1 spot right now, the Dogs.
I don't think it's a crazy take at all. Gus, what's your top 6 look like?
Well, it's a little bit different, but there's a notable omission, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah, those guys down from Boulder, they're not on my list. But I'm sure they'll, it's no disrespect to you, but tonight, no disrespect. I promise, it's no disrespect. It's not personal, okay? So, but for me, tonight, I think they should have taken care of business a little bit better than they did. Yeah, I know there's a lot of things around that game, but for me, just getting that win in double overtime, not good enough. They're going to have bigger tests down the road.
Not good enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Number 5, Utah. So much like Nigel, without Cam Rising, with Cam Rising, they'd be much higher up the list. They've got such a quality football program there under Kyle Whittingham. I've nothing but respect for them, but until they get all their firepower back, I just don't see them being up in the top 3. Number 4, Oregon, one of the most complete teams in the conference. But time will tell to see how they react to the big games. Oregon's biggest Achilles heel has been that one game down the stretch where they sort of trip up in a game that they shouldn't have. ASU 2019, that sort of thing. And then number 3, USC, obviously stacked, but their defense, I'm not convinced yet. Number two, Oregon State. That's right. Oregon State at number 2. They're one of my picks to be in the Pac-12 championship game. Put the league on notice. Number 1, UW, baby. That's not just not just sort of playing up to my co-host here, but my goodness, UW is facts are facts. UW is legit.
Just want to remind Coach Prime, since you keep
not
receipts,
personal, Coach Prime.
It's Gus Farwell. His name is Gus.
We're going to send you his address and his phone number, Coach Prime.
That's it.
That's a receipt right there. All right, you guys are going to put them in the top 6 if they win next week. Okay, let's look at the
100%.
schedule. Here we go. Okay, there's some big-time matchups. What's jumping out at you here?
All of it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, wait, how do you even pick? I mean, Arizona at Stanford, maybe not so much, but, definitely all the other ones, huge games.
I mean, look, if you go down the list, Cal has had Washington's number. The last 4 games have been within 7 that these two teams have played. USC going to Arizona State, they've split that series the last 6 times that they've played in Tempe.
We were having a conversation earlier. You seem a little, I don't know if the word is nervous, but hesitant to feel like this is going to be an easy one for Washington.
Look, here's the thing about this conference. We have knocked each other out of the national championship race year after year because we are so the talent is so spread out in this, and this is no different of a year. And so I think people are going to look on paper and say, "Oh, Washington should beat Cal." Well, the problem is the last 4 meetings all decided by 7 points or fewer. Oregon State, I mean, on paper should be better than Washington State, but it's at the Palouse, and the Cougs have owned the Beavs. 8 of the last 9 wins the last time they played each other. We already detailed UCLA's Utah's issue with UCLA, the system versus what they do. You've got more talent now in Westwood than Chip Kelly has had over the years. And again, The last 6 times they've played in Tempe, they've split the series USC and Arizona State. So I think we're going to have some fantastic games. And it's gonna be more of this over and over and over again. 8 ranked teams. It's always going to be a showdown Saturday.
Yeah, maybe this year more than any. Look, I've been saying it for years. I know we all know it. Everybody else should know it from top to bottom. This is the most entertaining league there is in the country. I will fight. I will die on this hill. But I mean, look, there is parity within this league, but it is elite parity. And let's see what it's going to bring us next week.
I mean, how often do you guys have ranked teams sitting there outside your top 6?
Right?
Here we go.
Well, there's 8 of them.
There's no room.
There's 8. You said 6.
Exactly.
There's 8 ranked teams.
Next time, give us 8
We're going to
space.
start figuring it out coming up next week. That's for sure.